So mid-December, all of the different projects we've been working on are overlapping. Many of them, suddenly you're not actually going to complete this year. You're in the crossfire of so many different things. Everything's getting entangled. You're overloaded, easy to feel exhausted. What happens? You feel completely fragmented. Today, just want to check in with what I do at this time of year so that I can recenter myself, so that I can be available and open to my loved ones and also to myself during this Christmas period, and also to make gently a space for the year ahead. Ciao, man. So one of the curiosities of modern life is that we're very rarely where we are. We're always dispersed between this multitude of moments. So the challenge, especially at this time of year, is to actually have the courage to recenter. What are you doing at any one time? For me, this capacity for multitasking, it happens in every walk of life, every job. But what we talk about less is how our minds are fragmented in the moment. So for instance, you go onto YouTube and you look at 10 different videos all for 30 seconds. So what I try to do when I'm in this time of fragmenting, when I'm feeling dispersed, I try to say to myself, this I am doing now. When we're honest with ourselves, how often do we find ourselves everywhere but here? For instance, what I've tried to do is ritualize my way to the office. So every time I get on to the S-Bahn, onto the train, this is time for reading. 20 minutes just to focus my mind on this one thing. When I get off the S-Bahn, I will put on my headphones and I will go deep into one thing, whether it be a podcast or an audio book, or I'm listening through to songs that I'm writing and thinking about what the next steps were. The point is whatever you're doing, do you have the capacity to be present within it? Now, of course, you might think, oh yeah, I really relate. I'm completely unpresent half the time. The wonderful thing about this is that you can always work on it, and it's so simple. It's always just about re-channeling yourself back into the moment, trying to say, what is it that I'm doing? So for me, what helps is ritualizing the unobvious things. These little moments that you have, it doesn't matter whether it's half an hour that you're doing this, even if you've got 15 minutes for this, but to say, this I am doing now. By just working on that gentle capacity of the mind to concentrate, to go, this is what I'm doing, even if a different distraction comes in. You're not just training yourself into being more present, but you feel the deepening of the ideas that you're associating with. And for me, this is particularly important at a time like this, where I've been feeling very fragmented, a little bit burnt out, and it's like, okay, in that space, it's so easy to start feeling a bit unhealthy, or start questioning yourself, or to have thoughts that are, start pulling you in this direction or that direction, and they can be very debilitating, those thoughts. The danger is that it can trap you away from the good stuff in life, because you suddenly sort of get locked into this sense of fragmentation, and the thoughts that come in start disturbing you. So for me, it's when those rituals are broken up, can I ritualize the unobvious thing? Can I read a whole chapter in a row? Can I listen to a whole podcast in a row? Can I really concentrate on one job? I really just counsel you to get back to this capacity to focus on one thing, not as a desperate task where you're trying to prove to yourself that you're doing it, but out of the gentle wonder and joy that this I choose to do in this moment because I choose to.